whistleblower may not be appropriate in the Cameroonian
he did well not to call the
because
names.
whistleblowers are the ones who have created the kind of tensions we see in the country today with their lies.
Yeah. To Charles, what is the price for the peace that we want in Cameroon?
The price for the peace we want in Cameroon should simply be justice. Justice will simply mean applying the laws of the land. When Charles Ebune steals, and the law says that you are forbidden to steal, and he is not punished because he works in CRTV, and then somebody steals, and he is punished because maybe he works in Equinox, or DBS, or Dash TV, or Hot Cocoa, that calls for violence. What I am trying to say is that we should try as much as possible to apply our beautiful laws of the land without discrimination. Some of us have had cases where, because we differ in opinion with others, they say eliminate Zengwa physically because it doesn't share your point of view. No! In a democracy like Cameroon, and people should know, Cameroon will no longer return to the one-party system. It is impossible. We are going to continue with the democratic journey, as imperfect as it is, because there is no human effort, which is perfect. But I believe that Cameroonians should denounce hate speech, should denounce the fact that they own intelligence completely, that only when they say it is when it is right. I will conclude by saying that I was so happy, like I said in other areas on November 6th. There are just two instances President Biya has mentioned God in his speech. The funeral of General Koji, who died in the war against Boko Haram, and the speech of his inauguration the other day. He even mentioned God twice. God has given him a mission to govern Cameroon. And he thanked God for enabling him to win with the support of the Cameroonian people. Why am I insisting on the word God? God is the Prince of Peace. God is the King of Peace. And Jesus is the Prince of Peace. I'm so happy that at such...
You're right. Well, even Jesus is God. You're correct in that.
In such trying moments, we should come back to the fundamentals of human existence, the belief in God. And I'm happy that, as I'm talking to you, one of our major religious congregations in the country is celebrating its 68th anniversary, the PCC. At a time when some people, even religious leaders, said that we want a devil, I think that devil never came. Whatsoever that devil's name was, I don't know. But I'm happy that we can rely on God, the creator of universe, for peace to reign in Cameroon.
Thank you, Charles. What are we actually paying or planning to pay for the peace that we expect to have in Cameroon? I'm going to start with Professor Zengwa Willie Broad. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much. I think it's a very important debate. I would like to start by saying what peace is, if you permit. Peace is nothing concrete. Peace is an abstract philosophy. Peace is a wish. That is why the Christians would say, may peace be upon you. It's a wish. That is why the Muslims would say, assalamu alaikum. It is a wish. That is why what the French speaking would say, que la paix soit avec vous. It means that peace is not something that you take and put and you can work on it. Peace is the outcome or is the consequence of concrete engagement on the ground to roll back conflict situation. That is what we call peace building. It means it's a conscious effort to instill social justice. So we cannot talk about peace, which is a theory, without engaging in concrete action on the ground, weaved around social justice. So all of peace should be social justice. So in order to talk about peace in Cameroon, we should always almost note that peace and conflicts are two sides of the same coin. They work together. And therefore, any conscious effort that we do in terms of the way we speak, that's communication. Because if we see the conflict situation in the country today, communication, the way communication has been handled, has either imbibed more of the conflict situation than trying to resolve it. So communication matters. the way governance is. So I should say that the price for peace is social justice and development. And I am glad the President of the Republic extended a hand of fellowship for all Cameroonians to be able to assist in those peace-building efforts. That is what we should be able to talk about. But we should insist on social justice. And if we look around, the manner of electioneering, the manner of governance in the country, have we been able to have social justice without favoritism, anarchy? And therefore, we must be able to come together to say no to any violence, because we see the election results have been able to produce frustrations. But there is no frustration. We should push people to be engaged in violent activism, destruction, burning. And we argue that if we add a reason to social justice, and then we're going to talk about dialogue, that dialogue which must be free from emotions, that dialogue which must be free from discrimination, that dialogue which must be free from the master-servant postures, that dialogue where Cameroonians should be able to say, we must not go back to all of the conflicts to cite the conflict situations in the country, but the Cameroonians must be able to sit together eyeball to eyeball and point out where the conflict situations lie and what should be done in a persistent, consistent, continuous manner to roll back the conflict situation. Then and only then can we be talking about the wish for peace.
Yes, you see, I've allowed you to speak because you were so convincing when you were speaking.
Yes, I will cue up from both previous speakers to say that fairness is part of it. Equality, let me try to hang on equality here. Because when we talk of justice, justice is about equality too. Professor Zengwa said it and Charles also said it. You see, when you see the violence we had in Cameroon at the post-election, for the post-election, it was because some people felt that they were not treated fairly. They were frustrated. And
without cutting you, we should throw away lies telling. Because people tell lies and create confusion and there is violence.
Yes. So that is all what we're saying. And equality means that the tolerance Charles is talking about. There's a council in the Southwest region, I will not want to put the name, that because a particular group of its staff voted for a particular political party, they have been laid off.
Yes.
Killian, can this action bring peace?
Has it actually happened?
It has.
It has happened.
I think that's authority should be called
we can't be in a democracy that we are talking which has to do with peace. Then we are preaching the contrary. If we talk of tolerance, human rights, and justice, it means that we want to give equitable chance to everybody. In Cameroon, I must say that when we talk of equality, there's a lot that is happening in this aspect. A lot of other Cameroonian majority think that the national cake is not equitably distributed. And so they are not happy. You can't want to preach peace on a hungry person, a frustrated person. We must be equitable in the way we distribute our national wealth, Killian. That is where this peace begins. Do you know that there are communities in this Cameroon? We have 360 subdivisions. There is a subdivision that has got a minister for the past 40 years. And there's another subdivision that has not got a minister. Is that subdivision not part of Cameroon?
There is a division that has never had a minister.
A minister.
Since independence.
This is what we want to talk of. Peace and equality must come into play. You
Thank
don't
you.
allow one particular group of people to enjoy the wealth of a country for too long as if they are the only owners of the country. We must be very fair in the way we distribute. We must be equitable in the way we distribute our wealth. This will bring lasting peace. Northwest and Southwest is in peace today, is in conflict today, I beg your pardon, because they feel cheated. If this equality, this fairness and human right was practiced in the Northwest and Southwest, they will not be angry.
Now,
this is fact.
I note your role as a whistleblower you've played here, and that the whistle should resound, that if there is a mayor in any part of the country who has dismissed workers because they did not. No, he did well. He did well. He did well not to call the names.
Because whistleblowers are the ones who have created the kind of tensions we see in the country today with their lies.
Yeah, no,
but we cannot be judging the country on micro incidents. We cannot be judging the country on micro.
Yeah,
we have to look at macro.
What he has done.
Mr. Biya looks at the bigger picture.
No, please. See what he has said.
It's a progress.
What he has said is pertinent by all standards. That Charles talked about tolerance.
I agree with him.
Tolerance. You should tolerate that somebody works under you and has a different opinion.
That is it.
First of all, it's a civic right. And I come back to whistleblower. I think those who matter have heard this. And the council workers should have their positions in their offices. Because that is the Cameroon we want to build. That's the Cameroon you have been advocating for here. Not the Cameroon of exclusion because of opinion. We know that the people who matter are listening to what we are saying, Charles.